Hey guys, sitting here, relaxing, got my gamer glasses on, so I must be like elite, right? I mean, I'm not because I just said that. So there's no possible way I'm elite or on fleek or what am I talking about? I don't know. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome to this week's vlog. So I wanted to do a quick update vlog on my progress during this lockdown quarantine. It is day, I'm going to say 912 of lockdown so that we can prevent the spread of coronavirus. Unless you're in one of those states where basically you just go around breathing on everybody and pray. Thoughts and prayers. So, what's going on? So I took a deep, hard look at what I've been doing, and in terms of my fitness, my nutrition, as well as some of the other projects I've been working on, including this vlog. So let's start there. Let's start with this vlog. So one of the things I've been working on is trying to tweak audio. Wanted to kind of work on improving that. It's not perfect yet, but I'm still kind of, working through the motions. I think one of the problems I have is that my studio that I've set up is kind of large. It has these really high ceilings, and as a result, I get this echoing effect. And so I'm trying to mitigate that. I'm going to be putting in some sound insulation so that I can, it absorbs some sound because there's a lot of hard surfaces in here. So I've been working on that. And I also looked back and I realized something. I didn't like the way I looked in my videos. And part of that was a lack of confidence. And I could see that. I could see that I had a lack of confidence in what I was doing in my videos. So that's another thing where I've identified that I want to improve that. So one of the things is that, talking to the camera. When I'm sitting here and I'm talking directly to the camera, it's sort of, for me being an introvert, and this is a way for me to kind of start overcoming some of my anxiety about dealing with people one-on-one, is by having conversations with a camera, right? So when I have conversations with a camera, I found myself slouching, I found myself doing this, and I was just all over the place. What I need to do is realize that I need to stand tall, I need to have good posture, I need to be confident in what I'm doing because I'm enjoying this. I'm actually enjoying doing these videos, which is honestly the first time I've had a creative endeavor like this that I've really wanted to do things. Now, I tend to get bogged down with other things, and so then they don't get done. And so I know I need to refocus on getting these things done as well. But let's talk about nutrition. So nutrition is great until it's not. Because here's the thing, I kind of look back and I kind of did, this week I did a jot down of what I ate rather than doing a full macro count. Weight is stable, good news. Weight is stable, bad news. So why is the weight stable? Well, I took a look at everything I was eating, took a look at all of my consumption, and realized I'm falling back into bad habits, which is, did someone say donut? No, no one said donut. And yet here I go, going out and looking for a donut. The worst part is that I'm not going out and looking for a donut because, there's a pandemic outside. So what I'm doing is I'm having donut delivered, or I'm having cookie delivered. And I'm realizing that, it may be once a week, but these are the things that are tripping me up because I don't have a donut, I don't have a cookie. I realize that, I have to take stock of what I'm doing. And when I buy these things, and when I go out and I seek out this because of whatever reason, a lot of it is anxiety eating. And so when I look at that, I have to be honest with myself and honest with everyone around me and say, look, I have some specific goals that I'm trying to achieve. And yes, it's once a week. But the problem is that if it was a couple of cookies once a week, it'd be fine. But if it's a half dozen cookies once a week, that's something different, right? And the problem is that you can't really buy things in a volume that are reasonable for a single person or two people a lot of times. Especially delivery, because you have delivery minimums and all of this. If I was in a non-pandemic situation, I was like, I want a cookie. I really want a cookie. You know what I would do? When I was at the grocery store, I would pick up a couple of cookies, too. The problem is that in order to get delivery, I have to hit that minimum value, which means I have to order more cookies, which means I have more cookies in the house, which means I'm going to eat them. I'm just being honest with myself that I can't bring that into the house anymore because I know I'm just going to eat it. And I know that this is probably the biggest problem I have in terms of me hitting my long-term goals. But let's say I was eating all these cookies. Let's say I was eating a half dozen cookies, but the volume of work isn't there. Because here's the reality. I looked at data, and the data says you're not putting in the work. So here is a chart of my activity levels in terms of, this is distance. So this is distance moved. So this is not necessarily a end-all and be-all metric. But this particular metric is interesting because if you look at it, it clearly shows that when the pandemic began back in March, I had a downturn in the amount of distance that I was moving. Now, my distance moved was not high before. And part of that is because I am more sedentary. I work from home and I go to the gym, do my WOD of the day. WOD of the day. Why did I say WOD of the day? I hate when I say WOD of the day. WOD. WOD of the day. It's built in. It's built in. Anyways, so I do my WOD. I come home. I work. And I don't go out. And so what I've realized is if you look at May, it's even worse. But it's getting better because over the last couple of days I've been more cognizant of it. So I'm making sure that I'm getting that volume in terms of distance. So this includes going for walks more. I need to get out of the house because otherwise I'm going to go stir crazy and, go nuts, right? So this is an area where I'm going to focus, is getting more volume in. So one of the ways I'm going to get more volume in is I've decided that I'm going to focus on some running. So I had an exchange with my coach, and he sent me some really good information, and I'm setting up a schedule where, a couple of days a week, I am not a small person, so I have to be cognizant of my knees and my hips and all of that, but a couple of days a week, I am going to focus on running, whether that's form and doing sprints and getting that built up because I want to be a better runner. Now, don't get me wrong, I have no intention of running a marathon. I have no desire to run a marathon at all. That sounds awful. That really does. To me, that sounds like the worst thing ever, is running a marathon. But I should be able to run, 400 meters, 800 meters, 1600 meters. These are distances that I should be able to run in a reasonable amount of time and not be completely exhausted. And right now, I can't do that. And that, to me, that's something I really have always wanted to be able to do. I'm not trying to do long distance running, but I want to be able to have the endurance and the energy and the ability to run in these shorter distances, but be able to do them quickly and do other work at the same time. I shouldn't have to run 200 meters and then be completely gassed and then not be able to do anything for the next 2 minutes while I try to catch my breath. So these are areas where I'm trying to focus in and do better, trying to build my overall athleticism, right? So this also goes back to increasing the levels of intensity as well. So when I look at the level of intensity that I'm putting in to my workouts every single day, what I see is a very clear, I don't have that intensity there. I don't have the intensity that I want that says, hey, you actually put in a lot of effort here. And that's clear from the amount of activity on my Apple Watch, which has been very clear about saying, hey, you know what, you're not actually doing this activity level that you used to do. And a lot of it is because I am working out at home. A lot of it is because I'm not going out as much. I don't go to stores. I don't do this stuff. So as a result, I end up in a situation where I'm just not moving. So I have to increase not just the volume, but also the intensity because I don't have people to compete against in my house. Now, one of the nice things is that I'm probably going to be starting some outdoor workouts this week. And there's going to be a group of us, and we're going to be doing social distancing. Um, but it's going to be something where a few days a week I can bounce against people and still have that competition level. And that might be enough to kickstart this. But at the end of the day, I have to be accountable to me. I have long-term goals in terms of my physique, in terms of my abilities, in terms of my athleticism. And I am damned if I'm not going to get to those goals because I have worked this hard to get to where I am, and I'm not throwing this away. It's as simple as that. So this week should be interesting, and we're just going to see how it goes. All right, more to come, but thanks for tuning in. If you like these videos, please feel free to comment below. And again, as usual, if you're going to comment below, keep it PG, right? Um, and you know, don't be an internet troll because that's just an awful thing to be. Later, guys.